Hello?
T-Bone.
Yeah.
All right, so cool. Real quick, man. T. Harvey, what's going on, man?
What's going on with you, man?
Oh, man, taking it light, trying not to be fat.
It's too late for that.
Too late
Uh,
for that. So look, real quick, man. Just spur of the moment, no prep. We got the news yesterday that our coach passed away. GP, man. I was just trying to get some ask a couple questions, man. How you feel about it, man? How you feel about it?
man, GP was like a third dad, third uncle to me, man. He brought me out of the hood. Gave me an opportunity to play Big Ten football. You know what I mean? And I just took directions and discipline from him, and I was able to bring that back to my neighborhood, man, and teach other kids and other people in my high school, man, that with hard work and discipline, man, you can do anything. And GP was just there, man. He was just there for me. Um, all the stuff that he said and he put into us, is coming out now in life. So I see why he was yelling and saying what he was saying.
So
So
so on there, T-Bone, do you did GP come to your house when he recruited you? Did he ever come to your house?
no, GP didn't come to my house. Bobby Williams came to my house,
Okay.
but Bobby Williams told me that GP um, he really wanted me to play at Michigan State. He wanted a good linebacker. He wanted a good hard worker, and that's why he came down there. He recruited me. But when I came up there on my recruiting trip, I was able to meet him and impress on what he was saying, and the other players like Myron Bell, Bryce Abrams, all those other guys, Tony Rollins. Hawk was my the guy that took me around, my host. So I was real impressed, and that's what made me come to Michigan State. I was a Spartan Dawg before I became a Spartan Dawg.
So
So that's what
now
I love about it.
now on
Mhm.
there, what was your relationship when you got on campus with GP? I mean, how was y'all?
Well, I mean, GP told me, man, I remember to this day, man. He was like, man, I guess it's one time, I was, I said something, man, and to the fact that he always, yelling at me and saying something to me, and he said, when I don't say nothing to you is when you need to worry, and I always kept that to me to this day that when people don't say nothing to you, that mean they don't care about you. So that I was real grateful for what he said. I didn't take it then as I took it as a grain of salt then, but now I appreciate it because when people don't say nothing to you, man, they really don't care about you. They really don't notice you.
Right.
And but you really don't know that until somebody brings that to your attention. And that's what he brought to my attention when I came to state.
Now, real quick, here go my $1 million question. Did
Uh,
GP ever cuss you out?
man, GP cussed me out plenty of times. You want me to tell you what he said to me?
Sure.
And he told me to get the fuck off his field. Get the fuck out of here. God damn it.
So what's the story, real quick, behind that incident? Why he throw you off the field, man? Tell us that story.
Oh man, it was I was already in the doghouse, man, from other incidents in practice, man. I was just an all out guy, man. I'm 100% anything I do. So I got into it, with the quarterback and some other people, and put me in the doghouse. So they put me on scout team, and my boy Del Rico, rest in peace. His shoulder was hurt, man, and they kept lining Del Rico up to run the lead, man, with first team. So, me being the person I am, I go tell Del Rico, I pull Del Rico off his field and tell him go to the sideline. So I took over for Del Rico at middle, and they ran the lead at me.
Who was running the lead, man?
Oh, Scott Green was running the lead, man. So Scotty was running the lead, man, and I ran up in there and filled the lead, man, and it was like a collision, man. Everybody like, woo! So GP turned around. Like, God damn it, what you doing out here? I said, well, Del Rico hurt. You know what I mean? You want to run the lead at somebody, run the lead at me. I ain't hurt. He told me, get the fuck off my field. Get the fuck out of here.
So he kicked you out of practice.
He kicked me out of practice, man. I think that was my first and only time I got kicked out of practice.
Yeah.
But I mean, since then, man, we had a good relationship, man. I ain't talked to GP, in some years. I come up to homecoming, and I never could ever see him, and I always missed the golf outing because I'm always working.
Right.
But I mean, when I did see him, I believe the last time I saw him was about 6, 7 years ago, and he looked at me, and he's like, he looked at me and was like, "Damn, you a big guy. You can be, you done blew up." GP was short of words, man. GP would say what's on his mind in a minute.
Right. So
So,
then real quick now, okay, so now we 20, 30 years away from our, 18 to 23-year-old in college. We was getting yelled at and we looked at it a certain way, but now looking at it, what life lessons did you take away from some of them GP isms?
man, you just discipline, man. You got to keep working. You just got to keep at it, man. It's the generation now, man. Think that they're gonna be millionaires overnight and successful overnight, and that's a blessing if you can do that. And it's a small percentage that has done that, but for people like for me and I mean, it takes time, and other people, it takes time to build that that relationship with people, and that discipline in yourself and your staff and your family and your kids, and this GP, man, he taught us discipline, man. I still run PTs. It ain't the PTs that I used to run on the field, but I run PTs in life, man. I still exercise and get that discipline in after practice, which means after work. I'm still doing my PTs. I just appreciate that guy, man, just, bringing a kid like me out of the neighborhood off the east side of Detroit, man, because I could have been dead, not be here like a lot of my friends. But, he took an opportunity to, send one of his main coaches down, and, through him, to bring me up to Michigan State, to show me a different life, man, a different way to go. He turned that corner for me. Um, he was the one that had me turn that corner and go a different route instead of the route I was going.
Now, if,
So
if it's some of the younger people listening to this and they didn't play for GP, can you talk about his character and his rules and his loyalty and stuff like that, just real quick in closing?
yeah, I mean his rules, man, was real strict, man. He just wanted you to work hard and do the best you could, man. It was like as long as you go 100 miles, man, and you run into a brick wall or you mess up, at least you went 100 miles, man. It's like you can always, you always can correct your mistakes. But I mean, if you like half do something and you half ass all the time, and you make mistakes, it's hard to recover from that stuff. Um, and these kids, man, I just his he wanted to make sure that we got an education. He just didn't have us up there for play football and that was it. His main goal was life lessons and what we're gonna take after football. And he was a disciplined coach, man. He every coach does discipline in their own different ways, and his was corrective criticism. He always said that corrective criticism, and he just taught us some life lessons, man. And I would tell the young people, man, just when people, older people, old school, or coaches that you have now, they say something to you, take that and and build off of it instead of getting angry
Transferring.
and transferring. Yeah, yeah. I mean, see, when up there, when he made me mad, I transferred it to putting it on the field, being a better player, being a better person, and he was always like his loyalty, man. I got caught, coming home one night, after a game, had a little liquored up and had an incident where I had a Dewey at a young age, a DUI at a young age, and you know Coach Perles, I came into his office, and he had said a couple things to me, but as I sat there, he got on the phone and called his alumni that he know, like we need to get Terry Harvey out of this jam. So I really appreciated that because usually some coaches, man, just let you deal with it, but Coach Perles put his people in front of me, that he knew that would take care of me and that his name would be on it. And you know, a lot of people won't do that. Like he vouched for me, and he really didn't have to do that, especially me being a knucklehead and messing up, you know, and getting arrested.
Yeah, GP, I was one of the things I always remembered. He took the blame for everything. He would be like, "Don't worry about it. I'll take the blame." And he stood up in front of a lot of the players, man, and dealt with the press. And he used to just take it, man, and would never blame nobody. He would never fire any of his coaches. He was real loyal. And like I said, the cool thing is it seemed like he recruited a certain type of people. And the big word with GP was with all of us is opportunity. So he gave a lot of us an opportunity. So yeah, man, I appreciate your time, T-Bone.